Hi students. One quick extra feature that we can talk about in regards to our assignment is getting two sets of data on the same graph. That will enable us to make accurate predictions and be able to get a better sense, a better picture of our specific locations. So I'm going to continue with Charters Towers and look at the temperature and add rainfall onto that. I personally know from first-hand experience that January-December has high rainfall, but this graph doesn't show that. So let's have a look. Let's see if what our information can tell us. Okay. The first thing I want to point out is when you collect the data from BOM, you've got two options. You can collect daily and you can collect monthly. Now for our daily max temperatures, that was a good indicator because we could average those temperatures for an average daily temperature for each month. So for example, my average temperature for January was 34.7 degrees. When you do that for rainfall, however, you're actually just averaging out the rainfall for a day. And I've done that once, and I've done that here, and I've said 3.88 millimeters of rain fell daily in January. That might be okay, but I think a better example might be the total rainfall for the month of January. And this can tell me whether the whole month is a rainy month rather than just what a daily rate might be. So let's do that and have a good look at that. So I collected the data for daily. If you wanted to use daily, you certainly can. I just wanted to point one thing out though. If you get something that looks like this, and you've got like a little arrow here, and you've got the word days in there, that's actually because you've got extra information. You've got 2 days worth of information. So you need to delete that 2 and the days for that information to be counted, and that arrow can disappear too. However, for this data I'm moving on, I'm not using that. I'm going to use the monthly rainfall, which has already been totaled for each month. I'm going to use that to get an average monthly data. So go back to my analysis. I'm going to type equals average and then select my monthly rainfall for January, and we've got it there. Before I continue, I'm just going to move my chart. Now this chart can move around and you can copy and paste it when you want to put it into your report, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it to its own space in this, so it's got its own new sheet, and that'll give you a nice big graph to look at when I'm dealing with it. And it puts it down here into its own chart. Okay, I'll drop it back next to the analysis. Going back to the analysis, I've got my monthly rainfall there, and I can drag that across and it will calculate the monthly average for each of those months. Okay, so we can see very clearly that September has an average rainfall of 8.24 millimeters, whereas January has a very high 150 millimeters per month, every January on average. Okay, a standard deviation could also be used here to get an understanding of how variable that is. Going back to my chart, I want to include that information here. So I can go up to my design, select data, and add some new stuff. So far I've got the mean temp with a standard deviation above and beyond. I'm going to include there a new set of information. So my analysis, the series name will be the mean rainfall monthly, and the information I want is January through to December. Now the first thing this will do is make a very ugly looking graph. Hit OK and get rid of that. The reason it's ugly is because we're comparing temperature to total millimeters for a month. Okay, something that's not really easily compared like that. This on the side is temperature and millimeters, and that doesn't make any sense. So what we can do is we can change this so that we have a second axis on the right here to show one of those other things. So if you go to design, change chart type, and drop down to here where it says combination. Okay, I'm going to leave the 3 means for temperature as a line. Okay, that's that one there and that one there, and then my mean rainfall monthly I'm going to make a column, and I'm going to put it on a secondary axis. That's that option there, that tick box there. Pops its own axis off to the right there. If I hit OK, much better, much better. So I can see underneath there we have our millimeters. Over here we have our temperature and our months there. Some added features: you can go to the design and add elements. So of course every chart needs a title, so you can pop that above. Mine's zoomed out for some reason. There it is. So Charles Towers temperature is the title. You can include, we should include for sure, an axis title. So you want your primary vertical, which over here was daily temperature, mean daily temperature, and we're going to put another axis title, which is our secondary vertical over here, which was mean monthly rainfall, which you should include the units that has been measured in. Okay, and that gives us a graph that can be analysed and looked at and tells a story. It tells me that September has the lowest rainfall on average, and at the same time the temperature is pretty okay, 30 degrees. Okay, if I'm looking for the lowest temperature, I'll get June as well. At the same time that we have the lowest temperature, lowest maximum temperature, we also have one of the lowest rainfalls. Okay, other features you can do I won't show you. You can find out how to do them yourself, but you can add error bars, so show the standard deviation above and below this. So you can also see that might bring this up to a high variance in these high rainfall months. These tropical weather, tropical months have a lot of variance. Okay, I'll leave it with you.